Well, good morning, my friend, and welcome to the Pastor's Podcast this Monday morning, Veterans Day. And I hope that you are having a wonderful Veterans Day. And certainly we ought to stop as a nation and thank God for those men and women who are serving or have served in our country. And many of them have given up time, limbs, friends, family for our freedoms. And in today's world, we ought to be thankful for that, for these who have made the ultimate sacrifice even and given their lives. Now, I know that's Memorial Day, but in Veterans Day, I just want to say thank you to every veteran, no matter which conflict that you served in. Maybe you didn't serve in a conflict. I just want to say thank you for giving your time to serve our country to help keep us free so we can have freedoms like this right here to be able to teach and do what we do as believers and as Christians. What a great privilege that we have. Yesterday, what a great day we had yesterday. And boy, people baptized. It was good to see God working in the services and looking forward to God continually having us go forward as we serve him. That is what I look forward to so much every Sunday. And I hope that you do as well. And whoa, what a great day. Today, I want to talk to you from Acts chapter 27 and verse 11. The scripture says, nevertheless, the centurion believed the master, the owner of the ship, more than those things which were spoken by Paul. Now, as Paul was being transferred to Rome for his trial, the ship they transferred him on encountered a great storm. Now, Paul advised the centurion to dock the ship in Lasea. But the owner felt that would not be a good place to stay, because it says the haven was not comfortable to winter in. So instead of listening to Paul, the centurion listened to the voice of the owner of the ship, and his choice not to listen to the preacher led eventually to that ship crashing in the storm that was more fierce than they initially faced. Now, just like the centurion, many people listen to the wrong voice. And boy, it's so frustrating. The centurion should have listened to Paul. And had he listened to the man of God, he would have avoided the fierce storm and the eventual crashing of that ship. Many find their lives in greater storms because they refuse to listen to the man of God. Now, I cannot tell you how many times I have watched people go against what I've said or what a preacher has said, whether I've preached it or privately told it to them, only to see them in a greater storm later in their lives. Now, listening to the right voice is critical, my friend, to your future and to the future of your family. Now, I want to talk to you just a little bit. Let me share the voices that you should listen to in your life. First, listen to the voice of truth. Truth may not always be the easiest voice to listen to, because sometimes the voice of truth has to just point its finger right at us. But the voice of truth will always lead you to the right paths to walk in. The voice of truth is often a lone voice, but the voice of truth is the only voice that helps you avoid the self-made storms that cause many spiritual casualties. The voice of truth often will be spoken against by the so-called smart people of the day. But the smart people of the day are often the dumbest people, because they refuse to listen to truth's track record that has never been wrong. You see, the voice of truth may be the hardest voice to listen to, but it'll never lead you wrong. Second, listen to the voice of challenge. So do not listen to the voices that say it cannot be done. There are a lot of voices that say you can't build something great for God in this present day, but I would rather listen to the voices that say it can be done and be challenged to do something great for God. Those who listen to the voices of negativity criticize those who listen to the voice of challenge. But those who listen to the voice of challenge are those who often make the voice of the critics look foolish when they succeed at the impossible. Now, I would rather fail at accepting the challenge to do something great for God because I listen to the voice of challenge than succeed at doing nothing because I listen to the negative voices that say it can't be done. Now, you will always do more in life if you listen to the voices that challenge you than you ever will by listening to the voices of negativity. So listen to the voice of truth. Listen to the voice of challenge and listen to the voice of faith. Now, whenever the voice of faith speaks, you'll always find that the voice of fear always starts speaking up when you hear the voice of faith start speaking. Now, the voice of fear will scare you into hibernating, but the voice of faith encourages you and to move forward despite fear's warnings. Now, I've learned this. I've learned that the voices of fear are wrong nearly every time, if not every time. Now, I will not let the one time the voice of fear might be right stop me from accomplishing what the voice of faith will help me to accomplish every time. Faith always brings you further when facing the impossible than the voice of fear will ever bring you. You see, the voice of fear says back up. Voice of faith says move forward. So even if I fail in what I'm attempting by faith, I've still gone forward. So I'd rather move forward than backward. Listening to the voice of faith, if you listen to that voice, you'll like the impossible that it accomplishes. So my friend, listen to these voices. Now, you'll often find these voices. You'll find these voices in the Bible. You'll find it from a Sunday school teacher. You'll find it from a parent. You'll find it from a spiritual leader. You'll find it from your pastor. But listen to that voice of truth. Listen to the voice of challenge and listen to the voice of faith. My friend, you will never regret listening to these voices because they challenge you. They stir you to do something great for God. I challenge you today. Be careful with the voices you listen to. I've made it a habit in my life. If I distance myself from those who don't do truth, who don't say, they don't speak the voice of truth, those who don't challenge me, and those who don't challenge me by faith. If those three things aren't in that voice, I just kind of silence them and I say, I don't need that. I don't care how smart they may seem, and I don't care how popular they are. These three things are critical. Listen to me. There's a lot of popular voices out there that everybody likes them because they make you feel good in mediocrity. I don't want that. I want someone to hit my heart. I want somebody to say, okay, I need that. I want what the preacher's talking about right there, because that's what makes a difference in our lives, my friend. How we need to get this in our life, these right voices in our life. If we get the right voices, we'll end up at the right places. If we listen to the wrong voices, we'll always end up making the wrong decision and end up at the wrong place. I hope this is a great help to you today. Now, let's remember this day. Be good to everyone.